Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. And today we are going to do a simple presentation regarding our case study about noise pollution. So first, we are going to introduce our group member who are conducting this case study. My name is Muhammad Azmin bin Muhammad Noor, and my metric number is 17-22F 2004.
My name is Farida Sofia binti Karim Nizam. My number matrix is 17-22F 2005.
My name is Nur Ashikin binti Muhammad Hussein. My number matrix is 17-22F 2016.
So I will pass the introduction part to my colleague first.
So I will start the first part of the presentation. Noise pollution is an exposure of sounds towards the environment that can cause disturbance. This pollution can happen either at an open space or closed space. Every passing years, noise pollution is increasing because of humans' technological advancement. Due to this problem, it is important for us to set a standard to control noise from causing annoyance to the living beings such as humans and animals. In Malaysia, Department of Environment is responsible for this action to control noise pollution through guidelines for environmental noise limits and control. Third edition. So this is the guidelines that provided by DOE. This is the first schedule. And this is the second schedule. So we will continue our presentation with causes and effect of noise pollution. The first cause of noise pollution is traffic noise, which is on the road. There are several factors that can affect the noise of traffic. The first one is the surface of the road. Road that made out of asphalt produces less noise than concrete road. This is because asphalt has a characteristic that can absorb noise, which is less rigid than concrete. Rigid surface of a road will reflect the noise to other surfaces. Wet road produces more noises than dry road. When the road is wet, it is more stickier than when it is dry. More frictions are produced between the rubber of the tire and the wet road. As a result, the sound spectrum becomes broader. Second is the speed of vehicles. The higher the speed of the vehicle is, the more noise will be produced. Vehicles that drive with more speed causes the engines to produce more noise, especially when driving a car with an old engine. Besides that, the higher speed vehicles has more contact with the road surface, causing the noise to increase. Third, truck-road ratio. More noise is produced as the number of trucks increase on the road. Truck that carries heavy load needed more force for the truck to move, especially on a road that have lots of slopes. Therefore, more fuel is needed to move the truck, causing the loud engine. Next, the slope and intersection of a road. When the degree of the slope increases, more noise is produced. More force is needed to move a vehicle, which means more fuel is needed to be used. This causes the engine to produce loud noise, which causes disturbance to the ears. Reflections of the buildings. Sounds that hit a building cannot be absorbed completely due to the building surface that is rigid. The sound is compressed on the building before reflected to other surface. Hence, urban area has more noise production compared to rural area. The next causes for noise pollution is industrial noise. One of the sources is aerodynamic from air movements. This noise can come from the fan noises or turbines that cause airflow between them. It will produce whirring sounds. More air movements mean more noise will be produced, which causes annoyance to the worker in the factory. Impact. Activities such as hammering or when objects falling from high places. It will cause loud noises to produce. The higher the momentum is, the higher the production of noise. Next, stick-slip friction. Stick-slip is a motion when objects are in contact by sliding over another. This motion produces vibration or noise. in a factory, brake noises, and lift tooth cutting is one of the causes to this noise. And the last one is vibration. Machines in the factory produce vibrations when in operation. Therefore, when more machines are operating, there will be more noise produced, which can cause hearing impairment and communication problems towards the workers. Another causes for noise pollution is construction works. The first one is heavy machinery and equipment. Heavy machinery such as the cranes, excavators, trucks, and many more creates noise through its engines. The noise also comes from the undergoing construction activities such as digging, piling, and mixing cement. Second one is impact and vibrations. Impact and vibrations are caused by the construction machinery and equipments. For example, road drilling machines vibrates as it drills into the ground, which will produce noise that is repetitive. Meanwhile, impacts comes from the banging noise or hammering activities. And the last one is transportation. The number of trucks moving in and out of a construction site increases the production of noise. It causes by the sound coming from the engine. As construction works commonly needs many heavy loads, more fuel is needed by trucks to carry them. As a result, this noise from the engine will increase.
I will explain the effect of noise pollution. First effect of noise pollution is sleep disturbance. Noise pollution can significantly disrupt sleep patterns, leading to sleep disturbance and insomnia. Loud and persistent noises such as traffic or construction can interfere with the ability to fall asleep and stay asleep. Even low-level background noise can affect sleep quality by preventing individuals from entering deep restorative sleep stage. The second one is acoustic privacy. Noise pollution can also infringe upon acoustic privacy, making it difficult for individuals to concentrate, have confidential conversation, or enjoy a peaceful environment. Excessive noise can penetrate walls and barriers, disrupting and tranquility of homes, office, and public space. This can impact productivity, comfort, and also overall well-being. The third effect of noise pollution is hearing impairment. Excessive noise pollution can indeed lead to hearing impairment over time. Prolonged exposure to loud noises can damage the sensitive structures in the inner ear, causing hearing loss or other auditory issues. It's essential to protect your ears from loud sound whenever possible to prevent long-term damage. The last effect of noise pollution is cardiovascular disturbance. Prolonged exposure to high levels of noise pollution indeed contribute to cardiovascular disturbance. Studies have shown that chronic noise exposure, particularly from sources like traffic or industrial activity, can lead to increased blood pressure, stress hormone level, and heart rate variability. These factors, in turn, can elevate the risk of cardiovascular disease such as hypertension, heart attacks, and also strokes.
So I will be explaining on how to mitigate the problem that are caused by those three, which are from traffic noise, industrial noise, and construction noise. So first, we are going for traffic noise. So there are many methods that we can use to influence the noise generation. So the first one is to build the highway far away from any residential area. This can be done by setting a buffer zone, a set limit distance, so that the noise generated won't reach any residential area. So next is by carpooling. So less car on the road. By carpooling meant less noise generation almost, and use alternative transport such as if you are commuting in a city, instead of using a car, you can actually use bicycle or any alternative methods of transport, or you can also use EV, electric vehicle. They don't generate noise as they use electric motor instead of engine. So next is use of public transport. This is also almost the same as carpooling. So you reduce the noise generation by not using your own car. So next is adhere to speed limit. So the faster you go, the basic principle of engine is the faster you go, the louder the engine will be generating noise. So when you adhere to speed limit, the noise generation will be at the minimum. And next is any modification done to the car or transportation that will increase the noise generation should be avoided to make sure there's no extra noise generated. And the other two is use of highway barrier as noise block and plant more trees. So use of highway barrier is to reflect the noise being generated. So if let's say the highway is being constructed closer to any residential area, the use of barrier would minimize the leak noise coming from the highway. And for the plant more trees, as shown below, you can use the tree as a buffer. So most of tree has absorbing characteristic, which means that if the noise being generated going through the buffer zone, in this case a tree, most of them will be either reflected or absorbed. Right. So next is industrial noise. Construction pollution, which is noise pollution as well. So first is planning and scheduling. Limit noisy activities to daytime hours when they are likely to disturb residents. So we would like to make sure the noise that are being generated are done within the time where it did not disturb anyone's activities. For example, if you are doing any construction, make sure to do it on daytime. So schedule the loudest tasks at times when they will have the least impact. So usually this will be on lunch time, or from midday to evening. All right. And next is equipment and machinery. Use more modern and silent equipment. So in this case, the older generation of equipment usually would cause a lot more noise as they are old. So new and modern silent equipment, due to their technological advantage, will usually cause less noise compared to the old equipment. And you can also put a sound barrier around the perimeter of construction site to reduce the noise leaking out of your construction site. So next is construction techniques. You can use prefabrication method. This is done by pre-assembling the construction material somewhere else. In this case, maybe you can pre-assemble in a factory. So when the time comes to construct it at the site, you only bring it just for assembly. So it will reduce the time needed and thus reduce the time, the noise being generated during the construction. So next is site layout and operation. So set a distance as far as possible for any noise sensitive area. So in this case, during construction, we would want to put any noise generating place as far away from any noise sensitive area. In this case, during loading, during crane handling, everything So next is use of alternative machinery for material handling. So for example, if you use a diesel engine crane, you can change for electric crane, which did not produce as much noise as a diesel one. So next is industrial noise mitigation. So there's multiple methods we can use to mitigate noise pollution here. So first is personal protective equipment. So use of ear protective device such as earmuff, earplug, and any ear protection can reduce the impact caused by exposure to loud noise lah. So in this case, as you know, industrial would cause a lot of loud noise. So it is good to have some ear protection. So that the impact would not be as bad as if you are not using any ear protection. So next is for environment. This is the same as for the highway. So you can plant tree and shrub around the industrial site to act as a natural sound barrier and reduce the noise pollution. Same concept as the highway one. And next is engineering control. In this case, we use a soundproof enclosure. So any noise that being generated will be either reflected or absorbed by the made soundproof enclosure lah. So next is compliance. So in this case, there is two. First is noise regulation. So depending on the location, they would have to comply with the local, state, and federal noise regulation lah. This is to protect the residential nearby there. So next is regular audit. This is to make sure that one company is not mishandling or misconducting anything that could worsen the noise pollution that is being generated in one place. Right. So in conclusion, noise pollution poses significant threat to both human health and environment due to it being can cause hearing impairment, annoyance, and sleep deprivation, which can affect the quality of life and permanent or partial disability depending on the case scenario lah. It comes from many sources such as traffic, as we discussed earlier, construction, and industrial. It's imperative to implement effective measures such as stricter regulation, better urban planning, and community awareness campaign to mitigate its impact and ensure a healthier and more peaceful living environment for all. All right, so thank you for watching, and bye bye.